Hello guys, so in this video we are going to see control structures. That is, we are going to see the different loops and conditional statements. We'll see if else, we'll also talk about logical operations in the start because we'll require a lot of these in this video. We'll also talk about for loops, nested for loops, while loop, when to use a while loop a little bit, what is the repeat loop, and the next loop. Okay, the next conditional statement. Okay, so let's get started. So let us start with logical operations. So just to give you a brief revision of what are the logical operators. So we have greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, equal to, equal to. So that is this, if is 2 equal to, is x equal to 2. So if x values is equal to 2, this will return a true. And if x value is not equal to 2, it will return a false. Okay, so all those kinds of things. It's not equal to, and so that is the and operator. That'll do logical and for you, and then logical or operator. Okay, we'll see how we can use these statements. Okay, so let's start with a simple if else loop. So say I have an age variable, and this can change. I mean, say this is the input age variable, that is 18 for now, and a simple if else loop telling if you can vote or not. So if age is less than or equal to 17, you cannot vote because the age should be equal to or more than 18, right? So you cannot vote if the age is less than 17. You can, so please, I guess you would have done if else somewhere. So the only thing that you should keep in mind is the syntax. So make sure that you have brackets, and in the round brackets you put the condition, whatever condition you want. If this condition is true, this statement will execute. If this condition is false, this statement will execute. Okay, also a very important thing to remember is you have to put this curly braces and put the comment, put the statement inside the curly braces, and the else that you start should start from this curly brace. So what I want to say is, if you put an enter over here, so if your else is below the curly brace of if else, then it will give you an error, unexpected else. Okay, so it's very important that you put else over here, only then your loop will work. Okay, so for now, because this was 18, this does not matches this condition, hence it went to the else condition and it printed can vote. Okay, if you put something else, say if I say 10, it'll say cannot vote because 10 follows this condition and this can vote. Okay, now you can also modify this. Say if you don't want the retired people to vote, I don't know why, but say just to make you understand what are these statements. So say if you don't want the retired people to vote, so you can put an or condition, or age say greater than 60, these people also cannot vote. Okay, so if your age is greater than 60, you still cannot vote. So now if you see, let me put 65, also cannot vote. Okay, this is just because of the or statement. So over here the or statement says either age less than or equal to 17 or age greater than 60 cannot vote. Okay, so like this you can also use the or operator to have more variability in your conditions. Okay, so that's the or operator, one line. Horizontal line, you'll see that above enter in most of the cases, it will be close to enter in your keyboard, this line. Okay, let's move on. So now this is an ElseIf statement. So say some h value is 10, say this is height. Okay, so height is equal to 10. So if h is less than or equal to 10, print small. So say this is a small height. If height is in between 10 and 20, say this is a medium height, and if height is greater than 20, it's big. Okay, so over here you can see this is a little different from this because this is like if else, it is like binary. If this condition works, print this or execute this statement. Else, if this condition returns false, execute this statement. Okay, Here it's like more levels. So it's like if h is less than 10, you'll print this. Else if h is in between this, so you can see an and used over here. So if h is greater than 10 and h is less than 20. So this basically means that h should be in the range 10 to 20. So this is how we write in maths notation, right? So h should be greater than 10 and it should be less than 20. H should be greater than 10 and less than 20. So this is how you use the AND statement, AND operator, logical AND. Print medium, and if h is greater than 20, print big. Okay, so for now it is 10. So let's see, let's say small because I have an equal to over here. So less than equal to will include 10 over here. If I say 15, so let's say medium because then it comes in this range. Okay, and if it is say 25, then it will say big because it does now come to this range. Okay, again make sure you put your else if after the curly brace, because if you do something like this it will give you an error. Okay, so these are small things that you need to keep in mind, because or else you'll get frustrated of the different errors where it is actually not your fault, right? Okay, so that was else if. Now let us go to for loops. So for loops are very simple, so it's like pretty much like English. So for I in 1 to 10, print I, suppose, a very simple thing. So this is your sequence. This will be a vector from 1 to 10, and for I in 1 to 10, so basically I will take every value in this vector and it will print it one by one. So you can see it is taking every value 1. So first I is 1, it comes over here, it prints 1. Next value of I is 2, it comes over here, it prints 2, and so on. If this changes, so this is from 3 to 10, you'll see that it is printing from 3 to 10. Simple. So this is a vector. We have seen what is a vector in our previous videos. So for I in that vector, I will be every element in that vector one by one. So for the first time it will be the first element, and it will do something with the first element, then it will be the second element, and so on. Like this the loop will go on until the vector finishes. Okay, then you can also do with characters. So over here X is a character array, that is A, B, C, D. It's a character vector. And for L, suppose in X print L, this will give you A, B, C, D. So it works with character as well. So data types are not a problem over here. Okay. So yeah, so these were the for loops. Now coming to nested for loop. So in nested for loop, what happens is you have a for loop inside a for loop. Okay, so this is what is known as a nested for loop. So say if you have a matrix, okay, let me just execute this. Okay, so I've created a matrix over here 1, 4, 5, 8, 11, 13, and I told it to have 2 rows. Okay, so here you can see 2 rows, and the numbers are 1, 4, 5, 8, 11, 13. Remember, these go column wise. Okay, so 1, 4, 5, 8, 11, 13, and the number of rows are 2. Okay, now there is this sequence length function, so be mindful of the spelling. So seqlen, sequence length, and if you just type number of columns of x1, so this is another function, n col of x1. Let me just show you what all these functions are. So you know what is x1, so this is x1. And now say n col of x1 will give you the number of columns of x1. Okay, so there are 3 columns in x1. Similarly, n row will give you the number of rows, so there are 2 rows. Okay, so what sequence length n col will do is it will create a sequence from 1 to the number that is over here. So for example, seq length of say 5 will give you a sequence starting from 1 to 5, starting from 1 to 5. Okay, so this is actually similar to a seq operator with 1 comma 5. Okay, so these two are same. So sequence length is mostly used in for loops because you just have to put the last number, that is till how much you want to go, and it automatically starts from 1. Okay, so for I in sequence length n row of x1, so this will go across rows, so it will go 1 2 because this is for rows, and then there is another for loop inside that which is for j, and this will go for columns. So initially, so let me just try to execute this loop. So initially over here at the first iteration, I will be equal to 1, I is equal to 1, and then initially j will be equal to 1, j equal to 1. Okay, initially when I will take the first element of this vector, that will be 1. Okay, so let me just put both of these so that I have no confusion. Right, so over here I will first take the value of 1 because sequence length n rows first element is 1, and j will first take the value of 1. Okay, so with this it will print x of I comma j, that means it will print x of 1 comma 1 because I comma j both are 1, so it will print 1 comma 1. Okay, so you get x of 1 comma 1, which is this. Okay, in the second iteration what will happen is this for loop is still not complete, so the command will then go to this for loop and change the j value. So now j value becomes 2. So when j becomes 2, because sequence length second element is 2, j becomes 2, so j is over here, so this becomes 2. When this becomes 2, you get x of 1 comma 2, x1 of 1 comma 2 is 5, so you get 5. Okay, similarly in the next iteration j will become 3, and you'll have x of 1 comma 3, so here you'll have 11. Okay, and then in the next iteration what happens is the for loop over here ends because this is only 1 2 3, so this for loop will end, and then the control will go to the first for loop. Okay, so here now i's value will become 2. So now I is equal to 2, and then this restarts because this was actually over, and then this started, this went for the second iteration, and here it will restart this for loop. So now j becomes 1. So now you have 2 comma 1. You get that? So here you get 2 comma 1, that is 4. So you get 4 over here, and so on. So you get then j value will become 2 in the next iteration, so you get 2 comma 2, so in 2 comma 2 you get 8, that's 2 comma 2. Okay, and then this will become 3, and you will get 2 comma 3, that's 30. Pretty simple, right? So yeah, that's the for loop. So you can also change j and I over here. So what will happen is over here this is 1 5 11 4 8 3, like this it will go in. Now it will go column wise. Oops, I've done a mistake. This is subscript out of bounds because I did not change the columns and rows over here. Okay, so first I'll have to do that. So because I is going in columns, but then here I change these. Okay, so just I have to change these. Yep, and I've done that. So 1 4 5 8 11 13, 1 4 5 8 11 13 is what I get. Okay, also make sure you learn to read errors. You always get errors, but you should know what these errors are actually telling you, and then based on what they're telling you can actually identify what was your mistake. Okay, so it's actually good to get errors and not frustrating. It is very frustrating when you get a lot of errors, but then that's how you learn, right? Okay, let's go ahead. So then let us see what is a while loop. So while loop is usually used when you don't know how long the loop will go. So over here if you see in the for loop, you know that say there are 2 columns suppose and 3 rows, or 2 rows and 3 columns, so you know that the loop will go for 2 rows and 3 columns. So it'll run, so this loop will run 2 times, and then this loop will run 3 times. So when you know how many times you are going to run the loop, use a for loop. If you don't know how long the loop will go, use a while loop. Okay, I'll give you a very simple example. When you don't know how long the loop will go, so let us import a library mass. Okay, this is a predefined library in R. Let us import a survey dataset from mass, and I'm just showing you the head of that. That is the first 6 elements of survey is what I'm showing you over here. So the survey dataset looks something like this. Now what I'm saying is uh, I want to print the height. Okay, I want to print the height until I get a NA. So NA is nothing but a missing value, and the missing value says that there was some error while recording this value, or this value is actually not recorded. Okay, so this is a missing value. So what I want to do is I want to print all the height numbers until I encounter a missing value. Okay, so in normal cases you will not know where is the missing value. It may be over here now because you can see it is over here, but say this mail was over here, so NA could have been over here as well. I mean, so this depends on your data set, right? You can get a NA value anywhere in the data set. Okay, so say if I change from height to pulse, so you can see I got the NA on the 4th value. So this is kind of random, or this is dependent on the data set. So you don't know when the NA value will come. In such cases, you use a while loop. Okay, so in the while loop, what you do is you put a condition over here stating that, so this condition is very simple, don't get afraid of this. So this is says survey of height, I mean survey dollar height, that means I am referring to this particular column, oh, the height column. Okay, so survey dollar height will give you the height column. The ith element of that height column, so I am slowly going to print the first, the second, and so on. So initially I have kept I is equal to 1. I'll have to first declare what is I. I should have some value in the start. If I is not declared, it will say I not recognized, right? Because it does not know what is the first value of R. You did not use to declare I over here because for loop declares it for you in this statement. So you are saying I in this particular vector, right? Because you're not doing anything over here like that, hence you need to declare I first. Okay, so first you're declaring I is equal to 1, and then you put it over here. So what it'll see is, okay, while the number, that is the first number in height, that is 173, is it NA? So is NA will tell you if the number is NA or not. If it is NA, it will return a true. If it is not NA, it will return a false. Okay, so is NA, is 173 NA? And the answer will be false. No, 173 is not NA. And the answer is false, but then I want the not of that. So this is nothing but the not operator. So this will negate whatever is there after it. So inside it was false because 173 is not a NA, so this is false, and not of it will become true. So this statement becomes true. So when this statement becomes true, I say, okay, print that particular height value. So it will print 173 for me. Okay, then what I say is increment I. So now I will become I plus 1, that is 2. So I becomes 2. Hence, you get over here what is, I mean, here it will come over here. Height is equal to 2 will give you 177. Is 177 NA? No, it is not NA. So this will be true. I mean, this will be false because it is not NA. Not of that will give you true, and hence this will again execute. Will print 177. Again, I will become I plus 1, that is I will become 3, and there you encountered an NA. So when you encountered an NA, this will become false because, this will become true, is NA, that is true, and not of is NA will become false because not of is NA becomes false, hence this will not execute. So this will execute only until this condition is true. The moment it gets this condition false, it will stop executing, and that's it. you get your only 173 because this was not NA, this was not NA. As soon as it encountered an NA, it breaks the loop, it stops. Okay, so that's how a while loop works. So basically remember, when you don't know how long the loop will go, use a while loop. Okay, then there's a repeat loop. Repeat loop is kind of similar to a while loop, but here there's no condition. I mean, you have to put a condition inside a conditional statement inside the loop. Okay, so here I am kind of repeating the same thing, but over here what I'm doing is same, initializing I is equal to 1. I say repeat. So you see the syntax of repeat, it is just the these things. What do you say? The curly braces. Okay, so this is the repeat loop, and I have put a conditional statement over here, that is a if statement, and the statement says if it is NA. Okay, if I get a NA value in height, the same example, if I get a NA value, you will execute the if, because now here there is no not. So if this is false, this if will not get executed. Okay, if this is true, then if will get executed. Okay, I think this might be a little tricky for you guys who are beginners, but then just try to understand it simply. I mean, just go step by step, just work out these things, and you will understand what is happening. Okay, so survey height. So say for I is equal to 1, survey height will be 1. Survey height of 1 is 173. So is 173 NA? No, 173 is not NA. So this will return a false. If this will return a false, it will not go inside the loop because this is false. So it will come over here. It will print the height number. It will increment I to 2. I becomes 2. So now over here you will get I is equal to 2. So they will become 177. Is 177 NA? No, 177 is also not NA. So this will again be false. This is false. We'll go over here. Again print the height, increment I value, and then again come over here. When it comes over here, now I is equal to 3. Yes, it is an NA. When you encounter an NA, this will become true, and then it will come over here. Okay, now this is a break statement. A break statement will remove you out of all the loops that you are. So if you, I mean, remove you out of the current loop. Sorry, not all the loops, but remove you out of the loop where the break statement is. So here the break statement is inside this repeat loop, hence it will come out of the loop. And if you see, you'll just get these two. Okay. Now, if you put this above, if I want you all to guess what the output will be. Okay, so over here what is happening is it is first printing I and then checking whether it is NA or not. Okay, so in this case actually what will happen is it will first print 173 and then check, print 177 and then check, print NA and then check. So just by putting this up, you get NA over here. Okay, so that was the repeat loop. I hope you understand the repeat loop. Now let us see, what is this? Oh, I've just printed this, I don't know why. Okay, then let us see the next loop. Okay, in the next loop what you do is, so actually this is a conditional statement and not a loop. So the next basically goes to the next iteration. It will not execute. Okay, so for example, let us say for I in 1 to 50, if I is less than 15 or if I is greater than 25, do next. Okay, so basically if I comes in this range, it will not print I. Okay, because you're doing next. So when you do next, this basically increments I. It does not what do you say, execute the program, the commands that are below it. It just goes to the next loop. Okay, so if it encounters the next, goes to the next loop. Okay, so let us just again just work out this. How does this work? So here I is in 1 to 50, so I will be, okay, let me just print 1 to 50 over here, so that, yeah, okay, So first I will become 1. Okay, so I is 1. Is 1 less than 15 or I of 1 greater than 25? Well, yes, 1 is less than 15, right? So since 1 is less than 15, it will just go inside this if loop, go to next, it encounters the next, it will directly jump and I will become 2. I becomes 2, still it is less than 15. Next, I becomes 3, less than 15. So this will continue till it becomes 16. So when I is 16, over here you can see I is not, so 16 is not less than equal to 15. It is greater than 15, or I is also not greater than 25. I mean I is less than 25. So this whole thing is a false. When this whole thing is false, this will not get executed. After this, directly it will come over here and print 16. So you see you can print 16 over here. Okay, now this will continue till you encounter 26 or 25, sorry, 25. So when you encounter I is equal to 25, I greater than 25 is a false, sorry. So it will be 20, oh no, that's right, I mean, so I greater than 25 is false. This is also false. So again, this will, for 25 next won't execute, and you will see that 25 is printed over here. When I is 26, then this will when I is 26, then it will come over here in this loop. Again, this will become true because 26 is greater than 25. Then you execute the next command, and then that will not be done. Okay, so you can just change these values and then understand how the loop is working. So when I make this 27, you can see these two got added up. When this say becomes 10, so you can see 11 to 27 over here. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, so this is next. So next will help you whenever you want to actually skip an iteration. You want to skip an iteration, use next. If you want to break an iteration, use break. Okay, so yeah, that is pretty much mostly all the conditional statements or the control structures that are used in R. I hope you understood this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.